Hey guys, welcome back. Damn it, why did she do that? That's about what I expected. Mion called me in the middle of the night. The social worker went to Satoko's house tonight after getting a call from the school. They had a talk with Satoko and her uncle. He told them that Satoko didn't go to school today because of a cold. He also claimed he didn't call the school because he didn't have the number. He explained that he spoke with Ch.7 politely and that she just misunderstood his behavior. Satoko didn't really talk, but she never denied what her uncle was saying. So she said there's no abuse and that she doesn't need any help. Yes, Satoko's always thought that her brother disappeared because she kept trying to rely on him. And that's why she thinks she needs to handle it on her own without seeking anyone's help. That's ridiculous. According to the social worker, she didn't have any obvious injuries, so they think this is an urgent case. It seems that she's being fed and she has a place to sleep too. Shouldn't that be a given? Are you saying it's not abuse as long as she has something to eat and somewhere to sleep? That's how they view it, at least. In some cases, people refuse to even let the social worker come inside the house just because they were able to talk with their uncle tonight. They determined that it wasn't urgent. So after all that, they put her case on hold. I bet Shion is disappointed. Yeah, just like how Satoko refuses to seek anyone's help because of Satoshi, Shion is also trying to desperately save Satoko because of him. She seems calm now, though, even though she's very upset. I know this isn't the time for complaining, but where the hell did Satoshi go? His sister is in danger. I have no idea where he is. I know, I'm sorry. I was hoping that he would save her if he came back. Must have wasted time to think about that. I can't hope for someone else to save her. We're the ones who will. That's right, and we will have to do what we can. I'm impressed with the power of the Mizaki family, though. You have information from the social worker already. You must have a spy in the center. That's a national secret. And so you know someone who knows. Someone who knows a lot about the center. They give you any idea of what we should do next? Well, I was advised to just stay calm and see what happens. What the hell? Did you have to talk to him about the situation she's in right now? Her uncle is locking her up and he's abusing her. Why should we just kick back and see what happens? Well, Ki-chan, this is not my opinion, okay? I'm just telling you what I was told by my contacts, see? And it's true that Satoko didn't show up at school today, but it's just one day. It's not like she's been absent for weeks or months. We can't really deny the possibility that she has a cold, but she's being abused. You're saying that we should just stay calm while she's being physically and emotionally harmed? Wait a minute, Ki-chan, that's the whole point. We're concerned because we know what happened to her last year, but she wasn't hurt yesterday or today. We can't really prove if she's been abused or not. She may not have a bruise on her body yet, but that's only a matter of time. Besides, isn't it abuse to force her to come back and live with them? Remember what we were talking about at school? It's normal for a legal guardian to take in a child under their custody. We can't definitely say that it's abuse yet. We have to do something before it happens. I'm sorry for yelling at you. I knew that wasn't Mia's opinion, but I felt like she was telling me that and I raised my voice. When I sensed her dismay, I quickly apologized. I explained to my contacts what happened to Satoko last year, but last year's case was resolved by waiting it out too. Last year's abuse only stopped because of the fourth curse, right? It's not like the child constellation center resolved it. Still, either way, both last year and now the child constellation center doesn't think their case warrants that much urgency. It seems our opponent this time is that difference in urgency between us and them. I see, we've done what we can, now we need to come up with a plan B. We should have a meeting tomorrow with all the fearless members of our club. We've gone through worse than this before, we'll have save her for sure. Yes. As we spoke, I felt less angry about the decision that the Child Constellation Center made. It is something we expected anyway. I was being emotional for a while, but Neon wasn't taking it personally. She's usually a tough person, but I know that she feels very weak when something like this happens. I have to be careful not to get too emotional with her. Our enemy was Teppei. I couldn't yell at my friends just because I was frustrated. I almost forgot sometimes, but Miana is a girl. There's no way yelling at her without cause wouldn't hurt her. I have a tendency to lash out with my emotions sometimes. I definitely need to rein in that bad habit, especially during emergencies like this. All I could do by myself was probably the same thing Sean was suggesting earlier, but I knew it would have made Satoko happy. We club members are fearless, but the power I possess is the smallest among all of us. That's why I needed to communicate with them. If we united, we would be able to come up with a better plan. I couldn't think of a plan all by myself. 3 heads are better than one. We would definitely figure something out. I'm going to call Rika-chan now. Will you call Reina? Sure. Reina was a good match for Xion today. She impressed me a lot. She's tough when push comes to shove. Yeah, Reina's always reliable when we're in trouble. But you impressed me too, Ki-chan. You were kind of cool today. I just kind of feel embarrassed now. That speech is a little corny, huh? I'm hanging up now. I'm sure Reina's waiting. Give her a call, okay? Yep, say hi to Rika-chan. I think she's been hurt the most by all of this. Rika-chan was looking at the ground with a depressed look on her face all day. My chest hurts just remembering it. It must have been even more painful to look at Satoko. Mion hung up the phone. I also hung up, then called Reina. She picked up the phone after one ring, which surprised me. Hello, Reina. You were waiting for the call, huh? Yes, I called you, but it was busy, so I didn't know what to do. You called me when I was talking with Mion. She's calling Rika-chan now. She told me to call you. Let me explain to you what happened. Okay, is this the case? Hold on. Yeah, unfortunately. I'm really upset, but that's what we expected. I can guess what they said. It's only been a day, so there's nothing definite. She may have missed school because she really did have a cold today, plus she doesn't have any obvious injuries. It's my guess, right? Did you put a bug on my phone? Yeah, you got it exactly right. It's total bullshit. It's only been a day is such a horrible phrase, isn't it? Especially since it'll be too late after he really hurts her. If he really does, and Satoko's injuries will be plain for everyone to see. But if that happens, her uncle will never let any social worker see her, and then she'll just say they couldn't find any signs of abuse and go back to waiting again. It's such a huge contradiction, isn't it? Apparently they need court approval to force entry, but applying for that isn't easy. So while social workers may be supposed to have a great legal power, in their reality, their hands are tied up and they can't act if the family turns them away. They're not the police, or not the ones who storm in, even if they have to break windows to do so. Damn it, then who does have the right to break those windows? If we did, I smash them wide open. Anyways, I'm not serious about this case. They have no idea what will happen to Satoko if we don't do anything about it. I'm impressed. Wait, why? You just moved to the village not too long ago. You've only known her for just a few months, but you're so serious about saving her. You don't even know what happened to her last year. But you can imagine how hurt Satoko-chan is right now. If you were an ordinary person, I'm sure you'd tell us. Just relax, it's only been a day. It's not that difficult to imagine how horrible it is for her. I also heard from you guys how terrible it was last year. It's no question that this case requires immediate attention. That's still impressive. You stopped Ch.7 when she tried to leave the classroom. What you said there was pretty deep. Do you think Satoko would appreciate it if you saved her by committing murder? It's not something an average boy would say. In fact, sorry, but I thought you were going to say something like what Ch.7 suggested. That's alright now. She saw right through me to the core. To be honest, I was able to keep my calm because Xiong caused that commotion. I too thought our only option was to kill him. What's there to hesitate about? Its aim would be resolved if we went over and killed her uncle right away. I thought those same things to myself. And then I thought about how I would actually kill him. First I just saw him with a metal bat or something. But before that I would scope out his house and dig the hole to bury his body in ahead of time. When I imagined it, I envisioned myself actually digging the hole with a camping shovel in the woods. I repeated, this is for Satoko, this is for Satoko, in my mind like a mantra trying to forget the weight of the murder ahead. I relieved that exhaustion and frustration. I could very clearly imagine myself standing there soaking with sweat and covered in mosquito bites. Then I'm sure I called for her uncle or something to lure him out of the house and bludgeon him to death. Then I repeated my mantra, this is for Satoko, this is for Satoko, blaming her for that serious crime as I tried to avoid my own guilt over committing murder. Did Satoko ask me to do that? Am I going to blame it all on her because I committed murder? Would she appreciate that? No, she wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to tell anyone that I killed someone. No one would appreciate my deed, and I had to carry that burden for the rest of my life. That pathetic feature is one I couldn't have imagined the rush I felt before carrying out the murder. I decided to kill him so I could return to us happier times. But the act of murder also meant shattering the same path that could lead us back there. I was able to imagine it that far ahead. That's why I didn't say it out loud like Xion did. If I hadn't thought that far, I probably would have joined Xion and kill him. It would have been really helpless if you had done that. I'm glad you have such a vivid imagination. I'm glad. Was that just really my imagination? No, did I just imagine killing her uncle in my mind? Could imagination alone really be that vivid? I could smell the earth, taste the scattered dirt flying into my mouth, see the pebbles scattered as I shoved my shovel down, hearing the roots cracking from its weight. The image was so real, it felt more like I had actually done it in the past. That's right, it's important to imagine the consequences. Right. You don't want to grow up with no imagination. I think you'll grow up to be a calm, reasonable adult, Kichi-kun. I wonder if this was only my imagination. I feel like I've been through a different life before. People with good imaginations could take a look at every possibility. If you really feel like you saw the future, I think it was just your imagination. You saw a possible future that could have happened. In that imaginary world, the Child Constellation Center put her case on hold too. Satoko came back to school for a while, but she broke after only a few days. Satoko was burying the abuse, but even something small would be enough to break her. Just like an old bowl, this has a crack in it. That has a crack in it. One day that crack will eventually widen and the bowl will shatter. In my imaginary world, Satoko broke down when I rubbed her head. She thought my hand was her uncle's hand. She pushed me away and hid behind the curtain and cried out for her brother, saying, "Nini! Nini!" Who told you that she called her brother Nini, huh? I don't know. I guess someone did. That's what she calls Satoshi, right? Anyway, it was devastating to hear her cry like that. I wanted to comfort her, but I couldn't even get close. She cried more as I walked closer to her because she thought I was her uncle. You're amazing, Kichi-kun. I can't believe that it was only imagination. That's exactly how Satoko-chan was last year. I remember it clearly. But it's impressive how you can imagine this since you've only been here a few months. You really are amazing, so that explains why you feel the same urgency we do. So you feel the same way I do? Yes. Can't imagine as clearly as you have, but I think Satoko-chan will break in a few days if you don't do anything about it. I think she will be hide behind the curtain scream for her Nini. That's when we'll finally realize something. It's not a crime to be powerless. It's a crime to do nothing. Huh? It's only my imagination, but I'm crying as though it's happening right in front of me. Rina can also sense how urgently we need to save Satoko. Not everybody feels that way, though. My friends all do, but they're special. And normal people like those at the Child Constellation Center see us as overreacting. They have a point, though. We don't really have anything to say to back them if they're going to claim it's only been 1 day. It's just like getting a cold. Doctors always say, let's see what happens for a couple of days. Right now, I think we should trust our instincts. We have no time to spare. We have to save Satoko now. Yes, even if I can't come up with a good idea on our own, together we can accomplish anything. While I was down and depressed before, someone told me the same thing. I think now's the time to come together and show people what we can do. Yeah, I don't know who told you that, but that's exactly how I feel. It was strange. I've had this feeling ever since Rena told me this story at school. Felt like I too once learned a lesson after some event. But Rena and I only met recently. I guess it's just a coincidence. Anyway, I was so lonely inside my imagination, I thought it was stupid for them to only sit and think about how they could save Satoko and made a selfish decision. But I eventually learned, just like Rena did, you'll never come up with anything good by worrying about something on your own. You'll have to talk to your friends, that way they will help you reach the best possible solution. You said something when you stood in Shi-chan's way today. You told her to trust you. You said you didn't have any ideas yet, but you would find one soon. I'm going to trust you. I believe that you will come up with the best solution. Just don't rely on me. You can give me ideas if you have any. That's not what I meant. I have faith in my friends at all times. I'm going to trust us. I know that we can save Satoko-chan, but we're not going to use a shortcut. That's right, we want to save her from this mess. Keep on believing. I believe in us too. I will never think that I'm the only one who's trying to save her. I believe that all of us feel the same way. Let's have a meeting tomorrow. Chi-sensei might have some new information too. We may not be able to come up with a good idea right away, but she might have something. Yeah, you're right. I know that there's always another option. That's right, we're not going to give up. There is a better way, I'm sure there is. We may not find it right away, but we'll never give up. No, never. Mion prays to her for it too, but Reina really is strong in a crisis. I got a little emotional when I was talking with Mion, but Reina is different. Her fire is quiet and blue, so at first glance, it seems lesser than my bright red roaring blaze, but the truth is opposite. Blue flames burn far hotter. As I spoke with Reina, I felt my useless wild energy calm me down, so I could rationally search for the best solution. Through that, I felt Reina's strength. Though apparently Reina felt similarly about me, when I'm talking with you, I feel like I can accomplish anything. You're so strong and reliable. I feel more courageous when I talk with you. I feel more confident that we can save Satoko-chan. I get calmness from you, and you get confidence from me. We balance each other out like that, huh? We're such a good combination. Nisha has a lot of power as a member of the Sanozaki family, but she has a very frail heart. I believe that you and I can support her. That's right. We have nothing to be scared of. Yeah, I agree. Talking to Reina made me feel very confident. If I can share that confidence with my friends, I'll never feel down and miserable ever again. I'm going to give my power to the other club members so we can fight even harder. Rika-chan is really depressed right now. She lost her will to fight, but I'm sure she'll get that back once she sees us working hard. You're right, once she gets her willpower back, nothing can stop us. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's talk about our plan and involve the principal, too. We should get advice from as many people as we can. Let's find the best possible solution. That's the best thing we can do right now. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to take a few minute break here. I'm getting quite out of breath now. Okay guys, I cut my breath off for a few minutes. Let's get back to this. I got off the phone with Brayna, and that was a pretty passionate conversation we were having. It's unfortunate that the Child Constellation Center came to the conclusion they did. But if they could have wait and see, then that proved that Satoko was still safe for now. There are no more children. Worrying about it too much won't cause us to come up with any good ideas. Oh, we are no more than children. Okay, murder isn't a real solution, but I had to admit, I thought about it once. It's easy to burn up in rage. However, I had to stay calm like Reina. She was still burning up very calmly with a blue and quiet flame. I'd never seen anything like that before. Kichi, go take a bath already. Hurry up. I heard my mom speaking to me. You can go ahead of me, Mom. I needed more time to think about what to do with Satoko. Everyone else was probably doing the same. You should go first. There's bath salt from real hot springs in there. It feels really good on your skin. I don't think there's bath salt in real hot springs. It'll taste so good after a bath. My dad seems to be in a good mood. He probably finished his work. He's as scary as a bear when he has artist block. Maybe my parents could help with an idea. They're the closest adults to me after all. Should I talk to them? Stupid question. I have no reason not to. I'd have to talk to them and seek some advice. Dad, I asked now what to talk to you about. Huh? What's this? Is it about the auction at the coming festival? You have my full support. Speaking of which, when is the next festival committee meeting? They called me to participate too. I'll have to mark my calendar. Well, it's not about that. My classmate is in trouble. As I talk about Satoko, my mom joined us and listened as well. My dad is a strange artist, but my mom's a normal person with common sense. She might be able to help. I just got a call and found out that they put her case on hold. We're wondering what we should do now. They already called the Child Constellation Center, so you should let them take care of it. But she was being abused last year too, right? I don't know how bad it was, but I think it's wrong for him to force her to move out of her friend's place. He was neglecting her for a year after all. We can't just wait and see what happens just because the Constellation Center said to. We're her friends, so we want to be more aggressive about saving her, but we have no idea how we can do that. Kichi, don't even think about attacking him. I'm not. I wouldn't have talked to you guys if that was on my mind. That's true. I thought you might ask us how to commit a perfect crime. Hey, I would never ask my parents something like that. I think. Kichi, you're right. There are many battles in this world, but it's always important that you follow the rules. People won't help you if you're going to break them, and they won't respect you either. You have to fight according to the rules. Are there even rules for battles? Well, anyway, do you have any ideas? My parents have been alive for more than twice as long as me. They must have had some experience with things like this. They must have many good ideas. At least that's what I thought. But they crossed their arms and went silent. Calling the Child Constellation Center is the first thing you should do. But what do you do if that doesn't work? Do you think we can really rely on the law? Do you think the police won't do anything until Satoko is seriously injured? I'm going to get to make an appeal. Appeal? What do you mean, sue them? That's not it. The Child Constellation Center is supposed to take care of the child abuse cases. But if you're unsatisfied with the decision they make an appeal to the court. Kichi, you go to the court when you can't resolve an issue with the person you're dealing with. It's the final place you go to. You want the Child Constellation Center to protect Satoko-chan, right? But they made a decision that you disagree with, and? And what? Is it not going to tell us? Oh, guess not. Oh, okay, I guess now, okay. We need to make an appeal to the Child Constellation Center. If we're unsatisfied with the decision they made, we could simply go and tell them that. We need to go there and explain to them how serious this case is. Yeah, that sounds good. They have no idea what situation Satoko-chan is in right now. Since they're misunderstanding what's going on, we have to go there and make it clear. And I see that's the best approach. I don't know about that. I've heard that they never change their decisions once made. It might be just a waste of time. We don't know that until we try. Giving up before even trying is what losers do. We have to try everything we can. Remember what the principal said. We'll fail if we give up before even trying. Shine your fire is blazing bright red, ready to do whatever it takes. Even if it's acting hasty to save Satoko. But truly hot fire is blue and calm. Don't give up. We should do everything we can. What do you think, Chi-sensei? Am I wrong? No, you're not saying anything wrong. You've calmed down a lot. I was concerned for you because I thought you might come with an idea to attack him in the dark. That's what my mom is saying. Is that how people perceive me? I thought we should wait and see what happens. But after hearing everything all of you have said, and I think about what happened last year, I understand that this is an emergency situation. People can change their minds if you're persuasive enough. The Child Constellation Center might change their mind too. They might reverse the decision if you succeed in making an appeal. What do you think, Shi-chan? You should fight with us rather than thinking about it alone. I'm not feeling lonely. I'm not sad because I'm all alone. You sound awfully sad, actually. Maybe you should want to join us. Whatever, it's fine then. Let's just go to the Child Constellation Center. I'm going to punch them in their faces if they don't do something. That's not a good idea, but I feel your passion now. I guess you calmed down enough to gain some sleep. I'm just serious about this is all. Anyway, let's go and make it happen. I know where the Child Constellation Center is. This old man didn't know until recently, but it's on the first floor of the library. Mion Grant showed us the location on a city guidebook. She's really prepared for this. The office is open until 5:15. Don't try and pick a fight with them. We have to stay calm. What? Are you talking to me, sis? Who do you think I am? I'll cry if I have to. Our goal is to make them change their mind. That's it, Shi-chan. I think we can make it if we leave right now. It's past 3 o'clock. We make it before they close if we rush there on our bikes. But they're strict about time, aren't they? They might kick us out as soon as it's time to close. The door will close on time, but once we're inside, they'll never kick us out. Listen, make sure you don't give in when we're negotiating with these officials. Officials are surprisingly tough, but unlike private citizens, they're not allowed to end the discussion on their own. So when you feel like you can't get anywhere by continuing the discussion, don't give in. We have to dig deep and make sure they listen to everything we have to say. How do you know all that, Mi-chan? Who do you think I am? I represent Ryu Sonozaki, a member of the Mayor's Social Gathering and Local Government Monitoring Committee. I speak to government officials all the time. Hey, Mion, is it possible to save her using the influence of the Sonozaki family? Well, not if I have to go through Granny. Ugh. It's impossible to get help from her. Her mind's still stuck in the damn conflict. 100 million with one spirit and stuff like that. She hates the Hojo family to this day. You're talking about Satoko's parents who work for the damn project. I've never met your grandma, but she needs to learn how to forgive. It's a thing of the past now. Exactly, I agree with you, Ki-chan. So the Sonozaki family can't do anything about it? Yeah, we can't. I'm sorry, old people are so stubborn. They cherish Rika-chan, but they don't care about Satoko. That's horrible. I can't forgive Satoko's uncle for aggressively abusing her, but I'm not about to forgive other people for quietly abusing her either. Tell those people not to piss off Kichi Bear. I'll do that. Shall we go now? We have no time to waste. Alright, we better hurry. Let's get going. Do you want to come with us, Rika-chan? Let's go. Rena spoke to Rika-chan, who had been avoiding all conversation. She seemed to have given up all hope yesterday. It was so painful to see her so depressed. It's just a waste of time anyway. You have to stop saying anyway. You don't know if it's a waste of time or not unless we try. You people did everything you could in your previous lives, but you never found a way to save her. You think this time will be different? Sometimes I really had no idea what she was saying. All I could tell is that she was being negative about the situation. Have you tried going to the Child Constellation Center already? Then we should try. Satoko-chan is important to you, isn't she? We have to try and see what happens. I'm sure Satoko-chan needs your help right now. Their swirl is going to end soon anyway. What's wrong? We have to hurry up. Rika-chan doesn't seem to be interested. So much for friends. She's so close to Satoko, but she won't even get off her butt to save her. I never thought I'd hear you say something like that. You used to hate her so much. What? Is your brain working alright? Why would I hate Satoko? Never mind, fine, I'll come with you people. I have nothing to do at home but drink until I pass out anyway. You're pissing me off. Are you trying to make a fool out of me? Stop it, Shi-chan. You too stop. You stop it too, Rika-chan. Let's get together and save Satoko-chan. Oops, I just hit my mic. Whoops. Well, I'm sure we can make a miracle happen if we work together. But we need everyone to come together. We can't leave any one of us behind. We need you too, Rika-chan. Something that Rina said must have given Rika-chan motive. I could see a slight sparkle in her eyes. Rina had something interesting. She said that we could make a miracle happen. It's the same thing I said when this world began. At that time, I said I could make a miracle happen, but I didn't even say how. But Rina clearly just stated that. We can make a miracle happen if we work together. Yes, miracles can happen when we work together. And what if there is no miracle? That means we haven't tried hard enough. If we do the best we can, a miracle will happen for sure. That's true. Ryugo-san is right. People get stronger when they help each other. You can overcome any obstacle when everyone works together. Yep, Hinamizawa was fated to be submerged underwater, but 2,000 people got together and brought an end to that destiny. Bring an end to destiny. As villagers of Hinamizawa, we all know that miracles do happen. We'll win if we work hard together. I might give no choice but to come with us now, Rika-chama. If you don't come, a miracle won't occur. Your absence will prevent it from happening. So it's going to be my fault. That's interesting. A miracle is something that we can make happen, but we need everyone's power to make that come true. Destiny can be defeated. Fate can be escaped from. This can happen with a miracle. A miracle can happen if we unite. Rina told me yesterday you'll never come up with a solution if you think about everything by yourself. We have to talk to this up together. Don't let fate get the better of you. It's as fragile as a thin sheet of paper. How can I say that without knowing how stubborn fate can be? To me, a witch trapped within fate, but for some reason his words sounded very persuasive. He easily changed my fate to play the fishing game. In my previous life, Ichi saved Rina from her devastating fate. As fragile as a thin sheet of paper, he's saying that the world I've been struggling in for 100 years is that easy to change. Kishi had made a fool out of me, and interesting. I'll go with you. That's more like you, Rika-chan. Oh, Rika, are you sure? And you looked at me with concern. She wanted to warn me that I'll get hurt if I expect too much. I don't have any coins left to bet. I don't have anything to lose. This world's ending soon anyway. But it was the same in my previous life. I thought all was lost when Rena took over the school. But Kichi turned everything around. He's saying that fate is fragile as a thin sheet of paper. I've given up on this world anyway, but I'm interested. Fate will betray you anyway. I'll get hurt as I see it happen to you. Don't worry, I'm not going to get depressed anymore. I have no tears left to shed. I know that they say you can't save Satoko no matter what happens. That's why I'm doing this. It's the first time we've ever gone to the Child Consolation Center. Kichi can't make any miracles happen, and you spoke to me in a stern voice. Miracles are called miracles because they don't happen easily. If it can happen at any time, it's not a miracle. It's just something that was meant to be. I'm not expecting anything. I'm just interested. I'm curious how Kichi is going to make his move after saying how easily he can change fate. Rika, please don't hurt yourself anymore. That's none of your business. Get out of here. I wasn't expecting anything. I was just trying to enjoy my last week of life like watching a TV show. But I had to admit I was possessed by a strange feeling. It was a little bit exhilarating. I was nervous as if anticipating something. I had felt the same way when Kichi remembered the memories from the past and my previous life. I don't have any coins left to make a bet, but I knew something was feeling. This feeling meant. If I had a coin left in my heart, I would bet everything on this feeling. If it doesn't work out, every option, we'll have no choice but to give up. There's no need for us to give up. Satoko is going to be saved. We had better prepare a clean blanket for Satoko. She's coming back to you soon. And I'd feel bad if she didn't have a soft bed waiting for her. Yeah, I like that, Kichi. Well then, let's go. You might tear apart fate like a thin sheet of paper after all. Yeah, right now I feel like I could take on the ruler of hell. I'm going to make them change their decision. I stood in front of my seat. Kichi's a very good speaker. That's why I never got bored with him. I've been with him for 100 years, but he still keeps me entertained. We're going into the Child Consolation Center now. Do you want to come with us, Chi-sensei? I'm going to talk to the Board of Education. They're under the same branch of government as the Child Consolation Center. It might help if I talk to them. After all, I'm working for the public too. That's true. They might listen to what you say. Let's have her take care of that while we take care of our business. Let's fight them. Alright, let's go, everybody. Yeah. Even knowing that everything that's doomed, part of me felt like something good might happen. And you told me that it was only a waste of time. I felt the same way until a few minutes ago, but I hadn't become much more interested. I had no idea what would happen. I want to see how Kiki was planning to defeat this destiny. I raised my fist in the air along with them and hurried to the exit. As for Satoko, she didn't come to school again today. Teppei called her school and told him that she still has a fever. He said that he's going to keep her home for a few days until she gets better. She said that she thinks Teppei knows she called the Constellation Center. He must be worried that Satoko will write him out if he lets her go to school. I don't want to think about it, but it's possible that Satoko has visible bruises by now. That could also be why he won't let her go to school. Everything was happening much earlier. Satoko's situation was worse than earlier than it did in my previous lives. Okay, and this looks like a midway, halfway point type deal. So that means, guys, I'm going to take a few minute break here again, catch my breath and whatnot. So, I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, guys, I took a lot longer break than I thought I was going to. I was busy buying my next YouTube video game that I'm going to do. I found it on G2A for like over, less than half the price. So I'm really going to be excited to play that. Anyways, I got that downloading now. I'll probably end up playing that eventually after I, finish this. But anyways, let's get back to this. How long are you going to make us wait? How long are people going to... those people seem to be free. They should let us talk to them. Those are just general office workers. We have to talk to those actual social workers responsible for the case. I wonder if they're busy because they have a lot of cases like this. I don't know. I wish they didn't have so many issues to deal with. This world is tragic. So many kids are being abused. After 30 minutes, they finally called my name. I wrote down my name as the registration as Mion, so they can't let them know that she's from the Sonosaki family. My bearer, my name was called. I went to the receptionist to find a uniformed older lady. She must be one of the office workers Mion mentioned. Is she really going to be the one dealing with us? Hello, my bearer son. I see you're here with 4 other friends. How can I help you today? The only thing I wrote on the registration was that I wanted to talk about Satoko Hojo. Well, we're here to talk about Satoko Hojo's case. Chi-sensei from the Hinomasawa branch school called and made a report yesterday. We would like to discuss the case. Are you her friends? Yes, we're her classmates. Would you please give me a general summary of what you wish to discuss? I heard that you guys put a hold on the case because you determined there wasn't any abuse happening. So we've come here today in order to explain Satoko's situation in more detail. I see. Please wait a few more minutes. That was it from her then. A real social worker should be coming here to talk with us. She was just asking some basic information. With that done, she was talking on the phone and explained to someone what I just told her. What did she ask? She asked me while I was here. She told me to wait for a few more minutes. I hate waiting like this. Aren't those posters and advertisements you've been reading that interested in me? I see lots of flyers about abuse. I guess we came to the right place. Report the abuse before it escalates. Check out that slogan. Check it out. There's a bunch of posters and slogans like that in here. I guess that's what the Child Constellation Center is for. Is it any help if it's inside the building now? Rika-chan was right. They should be posting them all over the city, not just inside the building. Maybara-sama, thank you for waiting. Please go to the room number 2. It's our turn now. Let's go. As we walked, we saw rooms numbered 1 through 3. I thought we were going to be talking at the counter like you do at the bank, but they have individual rooms. I guess it's for privacy reasons. Most of the people who come here don't want other people listening to their conversation. But I think about abuse might be increasing because people try to keep the issue quiet. People tend not to talk about their family issues. Room number 2 is this one. As I knocked, I heard the voice of a lady telling me to come in. Hello. It was a very small room. Well, I should say it was narrow. It wasn't wide, but it was very long. There was a counter in the middle which split the room into 2. The lady was sitting on the other side of the counter. She told us to take a seat, but there were only 2 chairs. I sat down since we were registered under my name. Mion wouldn't sit because she felt that the Sonosaki sisters shouldn't be in front. Reina tried to offer the seat to Rika-chan, but she refused to, so Reina ended up taking it. It was such a tiny room that it was better for us to take a seat. It was very cramped with the five of us. I'm sorry, we usually expect to see the parents, so we only have 2 chairs. I understand that, so how may I help you today? Should I do the talking? Well, we're students from the Hinamasawa Branch School, and we're Satoko Hojo's friends. The school reported that she was being abused at the Child Consolation Center, and I believe that a social worker went to their house last night. We heard that you put a hold on her case. We're here today so we can explain to you how urgent the matter is. Mion nodded. It seemed like I was doing okay so far. What are you trying to explain to us? Will you please tell me? Well, I know it's only been 2 days since her uncle took her away, but it's only a matter of time before he starts hurting her. In fact, Satoko suffered terrible abuse at the hands of her uncle last year as well. We believe it's only a matter of time before this happens again, so we would like for you to save Satoko from her uncle before it does. But from that we understand the Child Consolation Center has to decide to wait and see, right? Are you going to neglect her? I can't believe that you left her hanging just because she's not getting physically abused. Or who's going to be responsible when she really gets hurt? Shion probably didn't like how politely I was speaking to her. She was already flaring up with rage at the social worker. I looked like Mion didn't want it looked like Mion didn't want her to tear into her. However, she let Shion finish so she'd get even more furious if he tried to stop her. The lady seemed to be used to people losing their temper, and she continued without reacting to Shion's outburst. I would like to make it clear that we are still working on her case. The results are still pending. We are not abandoning or neglecting her. Working on her case, they're not abandoning her. They're currently reviewing options, I suppose. While their mature phrasing made me start to think it might be rude and harsh to say they were abandoning her, Reina quietly opened her mouth. But you left her there without doing anything last night. No one can ever fool Reina. Taking their time to review options was the exact same thing as abandoning her. The fact is, they left her in that house without taking any actions to prevent her from being abused. We sent a social worker to her house. They met with their guardian. We cannot talk about the case any further for privacy reasons. However, we are not neglecting her. We are going to look after her and her father so they can have a healthy life together. He's not her father. He's her uncle. Are you sure you really did an investigation? Excuse me, you're correct. They're uncle and niece. Anyway, we'll be directing them so guardian and child can form a healthy relationship. Shion had pounced on her mistake immediately. I didn't think she needed to be so snappy, but at this point, I was starting to understand how different their sense of urgency was from ours. Well, excuse me, but Satoko was living a happy life before, without any support from her uncle. First of all, her uncle disappeared from her life for a full year prior, and now he's returned and kidnapped her away. And is that a crime? It wasn't a kidnapping. It's the law that a child must live where their guardian appoints them to live. According to the Article 821 of the Constitution, the legal guardian of a child is... He neglected Satoko for 1 year. How can he still be considered her guardian? Shion, that's what the court decided when her parents died of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Are you serious? That guy's her legal guardian? Yes, I don't know the specific article of law is written in, but minors must abide by their guardians. In other words, every child has a guardian. They have to have one. There's Article 818 of the Civil Code. When Satoko's parents died, her uncle and aunt automatically became her guardians. Yes, the closest relative gets custody. It seems her aunt and uncle were Satoko's only relatives. If Satoko and Satoshi refused them, they could have had a different guardian now. But they were children of the Hojo family, the enemy in the damn conflict. No one was going to take care of them. They were different from Rika Shama. Lots of people wanted to get her guardian, but Father Kimiyoshi got custody of her. I knew that the Hojo family was in the favor of the dam project, and the village hated her family for that reason, but I thought everything was over after they canceled the project and Satoko's parents died. Was I aware of the difference? The difference between how the villagers treat Satoko and how they treat Rika-chan? The villagers don't abuse Satoko like her uncle, but maybe there was a small thorns left in the village, and they were stinging Satoko occasionally. I can't say this too openly, but Satoko's family had more assets than her uncle's. And by becoming her guardians, they gained control over those assets, and that's why they shamelessly took over Satoko's home. You know where they used to live? It was this ridiculous tiny place. That's horrible. But this guardian neglected Satoko-chan for over a year, right? Can he still claim custody of her? Can he? Well, in Part 4, Chapter 4 of the Civil Code, there are provisions for the loss of custody. The lady opened a thick book on the counter and showed us that page. I didn't completely understand what it says on there, but it seems that parent can lose custody when they're being irresponsible. So the law can take away the right to be someone's guardian. Wait a minute, it says something about court. Let's see me see. At the behest of the child's relatives or a public prosecutor, the family may make a ruling for the loss of parental authority. What the heck is this? So we have to sit around and wait for a family's court ruling before we can lose custody? That's too slow. Well, if something urgent happens, we can temporarily protect her under our custody. We will also need approval of the family court in that case. Here are Article 834 for the loss of parental authority. This apply to Tepehojo. It is a fact that the guardian Tepehojo abandoned his responsibilities as a guardian for over a year. What is the senator's opinion on that? I can't answer for privacy reasons, but the senator requested an explanation on that matter as well. And you accepted his explanation, so you decided to wait and see. Like I mentioned, we are currently working on this case. The safety of the child is our number one priority, and we will make sure that she will have a healthy lifestyle in a safe environment. We aren't on the same page at all. They just weren't understanding the urgency. I never met this Tepe guy. I only know about the situation based on what my friends told me about last year, but Sensei told us. But I still understood very well. I understood that something really bad was going to happen if we didn't take any action right now. But she was still being abused by her uncle and aunt last year too. Are you sure that the same uncle can take care of her? You still have records from last year, don't you? I can't discuss her past record with you for privacy reasons, but we were taking everything into consideration. She didn't come to school yesterday, and she didn't come today either. He called the school and told him that she has a cold, but don't you think it's a bit odd that she hasn't come to school since he showed up? That's true, but she really might be sick. I think we should keep an eye on her and see what happens. We just know that Satoko doesn't want to be with her uncle. Her uncle is forcing her to stay with him. Our social worker spoke with the child and made their decisions after doing so. So that's it, isn't it? Are you not taking this case seriously because she made a false report long ago? I could not talk about that for privacy reasons. We're taking everything into consideration. Satoko is telling you that she's not being abused because she feels guilty about her brother Satoshi. She may have told you that she's not being abused, but I don't believe that statement. Do you know that people can lose the will to seek help when they have depression? Stop making excuses and hurry up and save Satoko. I'm not going to forgive you people if something happens to her. You'll end up hurt her if you do something about this while I'm still asking politely. Stop it, Shion. You're making us look bad. I don't know what her uncle said to the social worker guy, but he's a violent guy. Please don't be fooled by him. I just wanted to make that clear. So please speak with our social worker and persuade him to make this call to save Satoko at once. We ask that you do this for us. Some of us are getting emotional, but Mignon calmed them down and Rene summed it up nicely. I stopped speaking to see what she was going to say next. You mean her caseworker? I understand her concerns. I will tell them that Satoko's aunt's friends, 3, 4, 5 of our friends gave her and made an appeal to us. We will continue to work close in this case, so please let us know when you have further information. Thank you for supporting the Child Constellation Center, and thank you very much for sharing your valuable time with us today. We were still in Okinomiya. We were in a city park, devoid of playing children, staring vacantly up at the madder red sky in silence. I feel like they didn't really listen to our story, but they also didn't try to kick us out. She's probably just a person who deals with complaints, not the actual social worker that deals with Satoko-chan. That's why she was phrasing everything the way she did. What did you think about the whole thing, Mion? Well, it felt like we were wrestling with a tree. We didn't get pushed or pulled. It was the same as talking to a wall. That's not true. She said they will forward our information to the social worker. Like I said, she doesn't know Satoko-chan in person, so she didn't really have any stake in it herself. So you think we accomplished something today, Reina? I don't think it was a waste of time. But I don't think our passion won't be understood by the actual person who is working on the case. She'll just tell them that Satoko's 5 friends came and requested for them to take her under their custody. What about the social worker? Can we talk to that person directly? I don't know. I heard it's a very tough job. I think it'd be difficult for us to meet him or her in person. Someone even threatened to hurt them if they didn't do anything while she was still asking them politely. According to Mion, there are a lot of problematic clients who show up at the Child Constellation Center. It's not a rare thing for them to get an aggressive visitor like Shion. It's so difficult to tell them how passionate we are. They might treat us coldly if they took our passion for simple anger. I thought you were used to talking with the government officials, Mion. Can't you talk to them instead of me? It's not that difficult. It's not that she's good at talking. They just listened to her because she's a Mion Sanazaki. You saw how they treated us today. If she announced herself as a Sanazaki, they would have been in such a small room. We would have been speaking to the manager in the reception room, right? Mion gave a big smile and didn't comment. Mion's greatest weapon is her family name. Without that weapon, she's as ordinary as the rest of us. I shouldn't be thinking about this, but if the Sanazaki family forgave Satoko's family, it would be really easy for them to save her. So the Sanazaki family still hates the Hojo family. No one has publicly stated that we hate them, but it runs pretty deep. That hag of a grandmother is the one who hates the Hojo family. Her opinion hasn't changed since we were in the middle of the damn conflict. It's been so many years that she still can't let go of the past. Stop it, Shi-chan. Satoko-chan is Satoko-chan. She's our precious friend. It doesn't matter what her last name is. Shion went quiet and there was silence for a while. Reina was white. Right, just like how Satoko's name doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Mion's last name is either. The important thing is that our friend is being abused right now. We have to do everything we can to save her from that situation. Well, we all looked at the sky. We listened to the sound of cars passing by. We all felt helpless. We had no idea what to do. What was it we did today couldn't help Satoko at all? It would have been better if they just kicked us out. That way we would have been angry with them. After that being treated polite like that, we had no choice but to back off and see what they were going to do. We were forced just to wait and see what happens. Everyone was trying to figure out what the next option was. I couldn't expect Chi-sensei to tell us that everything was taken care of at the Board of Education. That would be too good to be true. What shall we do next? I muttered to myself, hoping that someone would respond with a good idea, but the silence reminded me that everyone was just as stuck as me. Kichi, Rika-chan, I'm sorry. I was running my mouth up. I have no idea what to do now. I don't believe this. What? As I looked at her, I realized the expression on her face was stronger than ever. You told Shion yesterday you didn't have a good idea at that moment, but you said you would figure out something. You told her to trust you. So I trusted you. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe that you would have even mentioned that you had no idea. I'm not going to believe that. I could see tears in her eyes. Rika-chan was sure that I could do something about the situation. You said it. You said that its fate is as fragile as a piece of paper. I'm going to believe your words. I still believe you because you can easily defeat fate. So, please help us escape from this fate. Help Satoko. Help her. A tear rolled down from the corner of her eye. My heart was feeling the same way. Damn it. And this girl's becoming a prisoner of a tragic fate. She desperately needed help. I told them that they could trust me. In other words, they could count on me. That they could bet on me. Betting is not an easy thing. If I lost, they lose their coins too. What does that mean to trust someone? It's about making a bet on that person. It's about betting a coin. It's about betting hope. Trusting someone is a tantamount to placing your hopes in them. I told Shion yesterday. I told her to trust me. I didn't say it just because I knew that those words meant something very serious. But now after betraying Rika-chan and seeing her tears, I finally realized just how serious it is. I took a look at Shion. If she was in a rage again, Mion tried to calm her down, but she didn't have any ideas either. How about Reina? She's always very reliable in a situation like this. I expected to see her strength. However, Reina also looked depressed. We didn't even know if we did was a meaningful thing. Reina looked down with a devastated expression on her face, and she couldn't come up with another option either. Damn it, I have to do something for him. Reina's blue fire will melt iron. Mion can be strong when the wind is in our favor. Shion is the same way. They will move forward strongly when the wind is backing them up, but they grow weak when the wind is blowing against them. Despite the whole situation, Rika-chan still believes in us. She believes that we can do something if we all come together. That's right, we all agreed. We said to each other that we would make a miracle happen if we all work together. What am I? If Reina is the blue fire, I'm the red fire. I burn brightly and give strength to everyone. That's right, I am Kichime Bearer. I'm the magician of words. I have to motivate everyone. The blue fire won't light up unless the red fire does too. When their fire is lit, there will be wind. Mion and Shion will become stronger too. Thank you. You just made me realize something, Rika-chan. Now the flames inside me are really starting to blaze. Kichi, we can't give up now. We are members of the strongest club ever. Nothing can stop us when we get together. I can't become depressed over a small thing like this. Rika-chan woke me up. I just realized how serious it is that people trusted me. Rika-chan knew our personalities well, and she figured out just who she should motivate first. Well, I'm really starting to burn up. Hey Mia, stop being depressed. This is where we're supposed to get angry, man. Everyone looked at me with wide eyes as they turned at my powerful voice. They were both surprised by my sudden shout and waited in anticipation of the vigor of my call. More and more clearly I could see it. This was Kiichi's Mayberry's role in this club. I don't think we did anything at the Child Constellation Center. Just like Rena was saying, they're just going to forward a small note, seeing the five of us made a visitation, but being treated like that has lit the fires of our anger. Yeah, you're right. Feels like they gave us the cold shoulder. We're trying to get them to realize how much danger Satoko is in. We have to fight now. We have no time to be sitting all depressed in the park. But Kiichi-kun, what are we supposed to do next? Don't tell me that you think we have no more options left. If this is a club activity, you guys would be losing right now. This is fun. I was feeling depressed too, but I've got a burning passion in my heart. I feel like I was cheering myself up. Why was I being so sad? That I wanted to save Satoko, I have no time to rest. It was like the final seconds of the last round in a boxing match where we were at a disadvantage. If I could stand here stupefied, I'll lose by indecision, so the only option is to press the attack. Was I supposed to give up just because I couldn't knock out the opponent with a one punch? No. If I couldn't take him out in one-on-one, I would have to throw 2 or 3 punches. I'd have to try until I could finally knock him out. You're saying that we're going to go there tomorrow? Close, but not exactly. I have no idea what's on your mind, but it sounds very interesting. It isn't like our club to cry ourselves to sleep. We need to turn this head wind around. Yes, to be honest, gain her willpower back too. That's right, I agree with Kiichi-kun. I'm ashamed I was so depressed. Let's fight. But what exactly are you trying to do? Remember everyone, that lady really pissed us off today, but she also told us what our next option is. She never thought about giving us a hint. She made a huge mistake. On top of that, the next option is something that I'm really good at. Oh. Guess we won't know until next time, though. Whew, God. I think that's probably about the end of this video, apart from, that usual hint. Alright, view new tips. Oh, we got two new tips, okay. I thought that was just one long title for one. Okay, the receptionist's note. No, okay, there's no date, no, okay. Subject about Satoko Hocho. Visitor Kiichi Mayberry and 4 other friends. Also that she did make a note, okay. They are requesting protection for Satoko Hojo to save her from being abused by her uncle, already being dealt with. I'm cleaning our refrigerator, so please remove your personal belongings this evening. Okay, that was very short, okay. Bank book frustration. Teppei suspected that Satoko was hiding more money somewhere. But in reality, she had none at all. Teppei had asked her how she survived until now, but she told him that she didn't have to use any money because she was living with her friend. Teppei had made some money off illegal gambling, and while he had some of that money saved up, he had no intention to use it on living expenses. However, there was no way Satoko didn't have the money. Teppei was convinced of that. Teppei's wife, Satoko's aunt, must have taken away the family handbook when Satoko's parents died in the accident. But her aunt also died last year, and Satoshi is gone too. That means Satoko should have hidden the bank book somewhere. However, no matter how much he threatened her, she told me that she didn't know anything about it. He continued to question Satoko, still believing that she was hiding it somewhere. He couldn't beat her because her teacher in the Child Constellation Center would suspect him. So he wouldn't beat her. Instead, he spoke to her in a loud and violent voice and broke furniture in front of her. Threatening people like that is Teppei's forte. However, Satoko continued to claim that she had no idea about the bank book. She didn't seem to be lying. After destroying the whole living room, leaving Satoko frightened like a scared little animal, Teppei finally believed that Satoko had no idea where the bank book was. In that case, where could it be? Teppei had 2 ideas. One idea was that his wife hid it somewhere in secret. The other idea was that Satoshi took it after his wife's death and hid it somewhere else. Either way, he was certain that it was hidden somewhere in this house. He told Satoko to clean up the mess he had made in the living room and started searching around the house. Teppei was starting to get bored of Satoko. He had heard that Satoko's parents had a lot of money saved up, but his wife had taken control of that money herself. Since his wife had been quite thrifty, he was sure that she left the handbook somewhere without using it. Once he got his hands on that money, he could move somewhere else entirely. Teppei was still acquainted with a few people from the gambling spot in Gogura. People he used to help out are still hanging around that area. They still owe him. They should at least let him crash there. It was great that Satoko takes care of all the chores around the house, but Teppei felt uncomfortable about being watched by both the school and the Constellation Center. Teppei, all too aware that he's a man of violence, couldn't stand living with Satoko without being violent towards her. The more he suffered, the stronger his urge to beat up Satoko grew. Since Teppei only knew joy through forcing others who resisted to submit, testing to see how violent he could be before the helpless Satoko resisted him was something he was excited to try eventually. Still upset over the visitation by the school teacher, Teppei promised himself that he would destroy Satoko's life before leaving the village. Oh, great. Okay, that's the end of this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.